also adding high-speed internet connections and designing more sophisticated interfaces to serve their customers. Automakers say they're doing their best to balance the desire for technology and a safe design. A Ford spokeswoman said in an email response to a question that it has prioritized voice recognition. This is Ford saying that they have prioritized the voice recognition as the interface for smartphone control while driving because research indicates that helping drivers keep their hands on the wheel and eyes on the road is the most important factor in minimizing distractions. Really? It is. You just realizing that you're a car manufacturer? Okay, Toyota, a spokesperson for Toyota, said in an email that customers want the companies to evolve and keep up with the latest technology. He added that Toyota considers driver distractions during product development as a part of basic design process. Toyota considers how the systems we integrate into our vehicles will be used in a driving environment with the goals of helping to optimize interactions with the drivers while avoiding distractions. GM GM says the feature has a feature in development. Engineers testing a measure of driver attention using a simulator that they measure the eye movements. He says that can't have a glance that's no longer than 2 seconds away from the road at a time. So those are just some of the ones. Now, the most and least distracting infotainment systems. These are the systems that are in the car that can help you to avoid distracting driver. It says the Acura has large text phones and pair easily. Okay. The cons are a frustrating dual system setup, convoluting display logic, and finicky voice command system. Okay, so the Cadillac, the Q only, okay, has the pros. It has a good voice command. The cons is it has a confusing interface, a sluggish response, and an overly sensitive touch buttons. That's not good, especially when you're driving. Okay, the Lexus NX, RX, GX, LS, and LC has good steering wheel shortcuts. The cons are the mouse-like controller is fussy, and it's a challenge to move the cursor while on-screen choices, especially when driving. Then you have the Mercedes-Benz. It says all the Mercedes-Benz. The pros is it has easy-to-choose functions. The cons are it lacks knobs and buttons, which would be easier to use. Touchpad controls on the newest versions, the C, E, S, GLC, GEL, and GLS models are too sensitive. The Telsa Model S and Model X, the pros are the system works well with a clear graphic and capable internet radio music search. The cons are the touch screen controls everything, but it can be distracting. There are no volume or tuning knobs with the CR. The Volvo has large and easy screen to read. The cons are the touchscreen can be difficult to operate. Commands require familiarity with the system. There's a, there's lots of small text, and the smartphone integration is buggy. And they have the Audi, all of the Audi. The pros are has a central controller, buttons, and handwriting recognition, plus well-designed steering, wheel controls, and a lot of other features. The cons are it's complex to learn, though intuitive once mastered. That sounds good. So far, Audi sounds good to me. I don't have one, but it sounds good. The BMW, all of them. The pros are an easy screen to read with large text, quick input responses, and effective control knobs. The cons are it takes time to master. Optional touchpad isn't very helpful. The Honda, optional on all except the Accord, clarity. The pros are none. There's no pros. The cons are On-screen buttons and menus aren't intuitive, poor voice command quality, and confusing dual-screen setup. High trim systems lack volume and tuning knobs. And it has a whole bunch of them. You got the Honda, the Infiniti, the Mazda, the Mini, the FCA, the Ford, and Lincoln. Let's see. The Ford, I see a lot of them. Let's see. The Ford has a large, well-labeled icon, quick responses, natural voice commands, and a large volume and tuning knobs. The cons are the screen is a long reach for shorter drivers in some models. Or maybe they got those dinosaur hands. I can't help it. I had to throw that up in there. I'm going to try to put some of this on my website in case, because Consumer Report, you just can't go to their website. You have to go on their website. But they got some good information. But I'll be back. Let's take a music break here with some TJ Leon and his new song, Road Trip. I'll be right back.
Baby and I took an early flight down to TPA. We picked up a rental, a big pile of metal, got out on the highway. Old Merle on the radio, it's a great combo together with a smile on her face. Her feet on the dash and tonight we crash at some motel along the way. Burning down a mile after mile. We're on a road trip, 4x4 spaceship, crossing the Florida-Georgia line. It's off in Macon, up through Atlanta, cruising on Interstate 75. Heading for Nashville, Tennessee, my baby and me. Closing in to our destination, we stopped by in this town. We didn't see much of Murfreesboro, but it didn't let us down. We bought a gift for my mother-in-law at a place called Quilt Connection. We grabbed a burger at a drive-in, then took off in the right direction. Struck by the Southern hospitality. We're on a road trip, 4x4 spaceship, crossing the Florida-Georgia line. It's off in Macon, up through Atlanta, cruising on Interstate 75. Heading for Nashville, Tennessee. City welcomed us with his neon lights on the strip. I picked up my guitar and played some songs and got a tip. We met up with some friends, we had a party, man, we rock. Music never dies round here, it's going on around the clock. Yeah, we're on a road trip, 4x4 spaceship, crossing the Florida-Georgia line. Pissed off in Macon, up through Atlanta, cruising on Interstate 75. Yeah, we're on a road trip, 4x4 spaceship, crossing the Florida-Georgia line. Pissed off in Macon, up through Atlanta, cruising on Interstate 75. We're on a road trip, 4x4 spaceship, crossing the Florida-Georgia line. Pissed off in Macon, up through Atlanta, cruising on Interstate 75. Heading for Nashville, Tennessee.
A road trip to go anywhere, even if it's just to the mall. Just road trip, just get on the road and drive someplace, get a break. To the show, and I'm still here, and we're still talking about coffee talk. Now, as you see, they're coming up with new things to stop people from getting into accidents and all this stuff, and it's really something. I think the old-fashioned way works the best way. Just don't do it. I don't care what they come up with. Just don't do it, because nothing is foolproof. So we have that. So let's go ahead over here and talk about the cold and the flu season, how to survive this thing, okay? In the middle of it, I'm going to ask you some trivia questions that I want you to not trivia, but I'm just going to ask some true or false questions. to see what you answer. I'm gonna give you the answers too, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. My first one is cold weather increases your risk of developing a cold or flu. Is that true or false? Now think about that while I go ahead. Um, so as consumers, we shell out about 5.8 billion to treat cough, sore throats, congestion, stuffy nose, and yet we remain confused about what works, what doesn't work, and what may actually be dangerous. Here's your guide to the drugstore aisle. And I need that because I'm one of the type of people just keep squirting stuff up your nose. Okay. More than 200 viruses cause a common cold, and 100 flu strands emerge every year. And those germs are everywhere. A sick person's cough, get this, a sick person's cough or sneeze has a millions of viral particles. A cough can expel droplets and speeds of about 50 miles per hour. A sneeze at more than 100 miles per hour, sending them 6 feet or further. So it shouldn't be surprising that an average American adult catches 2 to 3 colds in a year, and up to 20% of us get the flu, according to the Center for Disease Control. Okay, so what was your answer to the other one? Did you say that cold weather increases the risk of developing a cold or flu? Would you say that's true or false? Okay, now if you say that it's true, you're absolutely right. Consumer Report says flu viruses survive best when humidity is lowest, which usually means winter. A cold virus may multiply more efficiently when the temperature in nasal captivity. According to 2015, go below 98.6 Fahrenheit. Also, cold weather often forces us indoors into climate controlled, low humidity buildings and close to potential infected people. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now here's my second one. Flu season. See, I still got cold. Flu season usually peaks in February. Is that true or false? Do flu season peak in February? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about some more. There's no cure for either, which means okay, let's go back. Okay, yes. Yet there's still no cure for either, which means the best we can hope for is relief. In the quest for something, anything to ease our aches, fevers, coughs, and stuffy nose, we are willing to shell out big bucks. But finding remedies, that are safe and effective can be daunting. Consumer Report says a survey of 744 adults across the U.S. who recently had a cough or cold or the flu found that many people thought they were simply too many options. Okay, so what are some of the options that we should be looking out for? Let's look at the over-the-counter drug. So before we go to that, I'm going to ask a question. Flu season usually peaks in February. Did you say it was true, or did you think it was false? Okay, if you said true, you're absolutely right. It is true. Most flu cases usually appear in February, and the season often extends well into March, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So if you haven't yet gotten your flu shot this year, it's still not too late. So you still can get your flu shot. Number 3, antibacterial soaps are a good way to prevent cold and flu germs from spreading. I'll repeat that. Antibacterial soaps are a good way to prevent cold and flu germs from spreading. Is that true or is that false? Now we're going to go over to over-the-counter drugs for aches and fevers, okay? You got the um, acetaminophen, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Advil, and naproxen. How effective are they? All ease aches and body and fever, but what are the risks? Acetaminophen, I can't believe I actually said that right, and I can't say a little simple word right, okay? Acetaminophen is safe when used as directed, but taken